So I heard about Guardian AdLitem through Calvary. Actually, it was Ron Cooney who mentioned it many times before and after service here in Clearwater. So I started the training process for Guardian AdLitem, and once I was done with the training, I met with a CAM. They're called Child Advocate Managers. And so that's essentially my boss, if you will, as a volunteer. She put this 3-ring binder on my lap and said, "Okay, Gus, you can pick a child." And so I started flipping through the pages, and every page had a picture of a child and a summary of their situation. And there was more than 40 in that 3-ring binder. And I needed to pick one, and I was just overwhelmed by the need. And I'm listening to Susan talking to me at the same time, and she's recommending older boys that I should pair with. And there's actually 2 that she thought I should pair with. So I said I'd go home and pray about it. And while I was praying, actually the second boy, that case closed. So it was just Brandon. So I called her in a day or 2. I think I called her that night. I didn't think I waited very long, and I said I'll do Brandon.
But when they told me that I got a guardian AdLitem that picked me, that I was surprised, because I'm like, well, who wants an older teenager? Gus came in my life. It's just been a whole lot different. He's impacted me in a different way than now I'm doing better on me, I'm doing better myself, and everything.
So he was released from the system on his 22nd birthday, which was this June. It was about that time frame that he asked if he could come to church with me. And I'm like, absolutely, I'd love for you to come to church with us. So we started bringing him to Crystal Beach, and it was just beautiful to see how the Crystal Beach community surrounded him. He's a unique individual, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna work out. And it was beautiful to see how they loved on Brandon, surrounded him, mentored him, and I think he really thrived.
And it feels right. And going to church and Gus, supporting me all the way, it feels great.
One morning, we're getting out of the car and we're walking towards the church, and he's talking to me. He's asking me about membership. He's asking me about how to volunteer, and he said, Gus, I'd like to be baptized.
I was like, you know what? This is the day. It's Sunday. This is the day I get to change my life around. And so when I got in the car, I wanted to surprise Gus, and I told him I wanted to get baptized.
I'm like, okay, great. I said, we talked about what believer's baptism means. So after the second service, we went down to the beach, and Brandon got baptized. And one of the most beautiful things that I've seen at Crystal Beach was when Brandon came out of the water. There was, of course, a large group of the congregation that stayed after, but there were 4 men that went up to Brandon, and he's soaking wet, and they gave him a huge bear hug in their Sunday bests. And it was just a beautiful thing to watch our family adopt another beautiful young man. My experience or my regret is that I didn't do it sooner, because I heard it many times from Calvary, from Ron Cooney, and I'm like, yeah, that's something I should do, and somehow it would go to the back burner. And there's other children I could have helped over the last couple years. So I would say, please don't wait. There's over 1,000 children right now who don't have Guardian AdLitem volunteers. The Guardian AdLitem is the voice of the child in the court system. It's a person who doesn't have a motive. Their only motive is the best interest of the child. So it's that child's voice in the courtroom, it's that child's voice in the school system, it's that child's voice working with a caregiver. You can be involved in all aspects of that child, and you should be overlooking that child's performance in school, their mental health, their physical health, any needs that child has. You can be a proponent for that to make sure that child gets what they need.
It's a great option, because you can change a child's life in a whole different perspective, and make their life from going to hell to a whole better day in a whole minute. It takes one phone call, or it takes one big step to walk in their lives and choose that you want to care about them and show them a better path.